the place where East meets West in the pursuit of stronger aging. And this video is again of major importance, especially for those of us over 60. If you've ever stood up and felt your knees lock or looked down and noticed your ankles balloon by evening, this episode is for you. Swelling in the legs and joints doesn't just steal your comfort. It robs you of confidence, of freedom, and most of all, of independence. And here's the thing. While many people think of swelling as just normal aging, the truth is, it's not inevitable. Much of it has to do with inflammation, poor circulation, and, surprisingly, the breakdown of collagen in the body. That's why we're talking about food today. Not supplements, not surgery, just food. Real, whole ingredients that help your body rebuild what time tries to take away. And once again, we're joined by the remarkable Dr. Shigeaki Hinohara, Japan's oldest practicing physician, over 100 years old and still going strong. This man is walking proof that age doesn't have to equal decline. People in the studio, please show some love to Dr. Hinohara. Dr. Hinohara, thank you for being with us again.
Thank you, John. It's a pleasure as always. This topic, swelling, inflammation, and joint pain, touches nearly every senior I've worked with. But what many don't realize is that collagen plays a central role in this. It's what gives your tissues strength and flexibility. When your collagen breaks down and isn't rebuilt, your joints suffer and swelling often follows. But the good news is, food can restore that balance.
Let's start with the basics. For those who are new to the idea, why does collagen matter so much, especially after 60?
Collagen is the glue that holds everything together. Skin, tendons, ligaments, cartilage. After 60, the body's collagen production declines sharply by as much as 1% per year. When that happens, the tissues that support your joints begin to weaken. Fluid leaks into surrounding areas, leading to swelling. A 2021 study published in the journal Nutrients showed that collagen-rich diets significantly reduced joint pain in older adults. The body still wants to repair. We just have to feed it.
That's a powerful image. The body still wanting to repair. We just need to give it what it needs. And that's exactly what today's about. The top collagen-supporting foods. Let's go through them.
Absolutely. Today we will work our way through 8 different foods, and I will try to keep the best one for the last. Let's start with chicken feet. It may sound unusual in the West, but in Japan, we use them in broth or stews. They're one of the most concentrated sources of type deokoyai and type 2 collagen, the types most crucial for skin elasticity and joint lubrication. When simmered, they release gelatin and amino acids that directly support connective tissue health. In fact, a study from the Journal of Clinical Nutrition and Metabolism found that gelatin extracted from chicken feet not only helped reduce joint stiffness, but also improved skin elasticity in elderly women. These are the kind of results you get when tradition meets science.
That's incredible. I've heard about bone broth before, but I didn't realize chicken feet were even more powerful. It's fascinating to think that something so overlooked in the West is considered a healing staple in Japan. I imagine many of our listeners have walked right past these at the market without realizing what a gold mine of nutrition they represent. And it's not just about tradition. It's about transformation through time-tested nourishment.
Yes, and they're accessible. You can find them at Asian markets, and just a few pieces added to a pot of soup can transform it into a healing elixir. They're inexpensive, freeze well, and can be batch prepared for the whole week. Plus, sipping on collagen-rich broth is not only restorative, it's comforting, especially on cooler mornings.
I'm already fascinated by your first suggestion, and I can sense many of our listeners leaning in right now because this is the kind of insight that challenges everything we assume about aging. We often think relief has to come in a pill or prescription, but what you're offering is so empowering, a way to take action right from the kitchen. So let's keep this momentum going. What's the next food that earns a place in the healing toolkit?
Second is beef tendon. In Japan, we call it gyusuji. It's a classic in traditional soups, especially during colder months. Beef tendon is pure collagen, and when slow cooked, it becomes soft and gelatinous, perfect for rebuilding joint cushioning. It's also incredibly rich in glycine and arginine, two amino acids essential for anti-inflammatory response and connective tissue repair. In fact, research from the International Journal of Molecular Sciences highlights how glycine plays a central role in modulating inflammation and enhancing tissue recovery, especially after the age of 60. Seniors who eat tendon regularly often report improvements in joint stiffness and flexibility, especially in the knees and ankles. In Japan, it's often simmered with daikon and a splash of soy, creating not just a nourishing dish, but a deeply healing experience.
That's something many people wouldn't think to eat, but when cooked right, it's delicious and therapeutic.
Exactly. You don't have to eat it daily. Just once or twice a week as part of a warm meal can have cumulative benefits.
I believe that right away. All right, let's continue. What's food number 3?
Shiitake mushrooms. They're not a direct source of collagen, but they're one of the best collagen-supporting foods. They're rich in copper, a mineral your body needs to weave collagen fibers together, and they also contain lentinan, a compound shown in multiple studies to boost immune function and reduce inflammation. That means less joint swelling, better recovery. They also offer vitamin D, which supports immune balance and bone health, both crucial for aging joints. The beta-glucans help improve gut health, which enhances nutrient absorption overall. And a well-fed gut means better delivery of all those collagen-building nutrients throughout the body. In Japan, we often use shiitake as a base in dashi broths or simmer them with root vegetables for maximum benefit.
Now that's a surprise. Mushrooms helping with collagen. I had no idea. It's a perfect example of how support doesn't always come from where you expect. We often look for a direct source, but the real magic happens in how the body builds and preserves what it already has.
Yes, and the flavor is wonderful. You can add them to soups, stir-fries, even slice them raw into a salad. They also dry well, making them perfect for storage and convenient use. And unlike many supplements, the body knows exactly how to handle them.
Let's keep going. What's number 4? I'm curious to see how many more common foods are actually hidden treasures when it comes to collagen. It's incredible how a few thoughtful additions can shift the entire conversation around aging and inflammation.
Pumpkin seeds. They're small but packed with zinc and magnesium, both crucial for collagen synthesis. Zinc helps activate enzymes that produce collagen, while magnesium supports the quality of collagen formed. A handful a day, whether sprinkled on yogurt or blended into a smoothie, makes a huge difference. They also contain tryptophan, which supports restful sleep, and good sleep is essential for collagen repair. The healthy fats further support hormone balance, which also plays a role in joint integrity, and they can be roasted or eaten raw depending on your taste. In Japan, we sometimes crush them and mix with rice or porridge for a nourishing start to the day. A 2020 review in the Journal of Trace Elements in Medicine and Biology emphasized how zinc deficiency correlates with delayed wound healing and joint deterioration, two common issues in aging.
I love that. It's easy, accessible, and very doable even for people on a limited budget. And it's surprising to learn how something so small, literally a seed, can play a role in such a big issue like collagen decline. Do you think most seniors are aware that nutrients like zinc and magnesium matter just as much as protein when it comes to joints? And honestly, these little additions to your morning can stack up over time. It's not about perfection. It's about small wins every day.
Yes, and it's shelf-stable. No need for fancy supplements, just consistency. Over time, the body rewards steady nourishment, not extreme changes. And that's a message I try to share with every patient I see.
Before we move on, I have to say, what I love about these suggestions so far is how practical they are. Nothing extreme, nothing inaccessible, just time-tested foods that anyone can add to their morning routine. And that brings us to number 5, which might be one of the tastiest so far.
Fifth is black sesame paste, known as kurogoma in Japan. While sesame seeds have gotten attention in the West, black sesame in particular is rich in copper, zinc, and antioxidants that protect collagen fibers from breakdown. The paste is made by grinding the seeds into a smooth, spreadable form, which is easier to digest and absorb. Regular consumption helps improve skin elasticity, reduce joint stiffness, and support circulation, all of which contribute to swelling relief. In traditional medicine, it's also believed to nourish the kidneys, which are linked to joint and bone health in Eastern philosophy. A 2019 study in the Journal of Food Biochemistry found that black sesame extract improved joint function and reduced inflammation markers in aging populations. It's a powerhouse in a tiny jar, and it tastes wonderful, rich, nutty, and slightly sweet, even with no sugar added.
That's fascinating. I've seen sesame products at health food stores, but I had no idea there was a specific form more beneficial for joints. And the idea of combining taste with therapy, now that's my kind of health advice. How do you recommend people incorporate it into their meals? It seems like something even picky eaters could get behind, especially if it's used in something warm and comforting.
A spoonful in the morning, stirred into warm porridge, or even spread lightly on whole grain toast is enough. It's deeply satisfying, a little nutty, and pairs beautifully with a piece of fruit. We also use it in desserts, but for joint health, keeping it simple and unsweetened is best. If someone wants a shortcut, there are ready-made pastes available. Just check the label for purity and no added sugar.
These first 5 have been eye-opening, and honestly, they've changed how I look at the food I am mostly eating now. But I know we're not done yet. There's still more to uncover. Tell me about number 6 on your list.
Sixth is egg yolks, specifically soft-boiled or lightly cooked. While many people once feared the fat and cholesterol in eggs, science has come full circle. Egg yolks are one of the richest natural sources of biotin, a B vitamin that's crucial for collagen production. They also contain vitamin D, choline, and healthy fats that support joint lubrication and overall tissue repair. A study published in Nutrients in 2022 found that older adults who consumed whole eggs regularly showed improved muscle mass and reduced signs of inflammation compared to those who avoided yolks. And because the yolk contains almost all of the egg's antioxidants, including lutein and zeaxanthin, it also supports eye and skin health, which often decline alongside joint issues.
That's one that makes a lot of sense, but still feels surprising. For years, we were told to skip the yolk, and now it's almost like it's the most precious part. I think many of our listeners might be relieved to hear this. It's not just permission to enjoy your breakfast. It's encouragement to rethink it entirely.
Exactly. 1 or 2 soft-boiled eggs in the morning provide not just collagen supportive nutrients, but lasting energy and satiety. Paired with a slice of whole grain toast or some lightly steamed greens, it becomes a near-perfect start to the day. It's also easy to digest, which is so important for seniors who may struggle with heavier meals. And when something is simple, satisfying, and science-backed, it's far easier to stick to.
That all sounds wonderful, but are there any downsides? Should people with certain conditions like high cholesterol or heart issues be cautious?
It's a good question. While older guidelines warned against cholesterol, newer research has shown that dietary cholesterol has far less impact on blood cholesterol levels than once believed. That said, if someone has a very specific condition like familial hypercholesterolemia, they should talk with their doctor. But for most seniors, 1 egg a day, especially when part of a balanced, whole food diet, can actually improve cardiovascular health rather than harm it. Balance and variety remain the most important factors.
This is such a refreshing take on what it means to eat well after 60. And I love that it's not just about what to cut out, it's about what to bring in. So with that spirit, what's next?
7th is buckwheat, often overlooked but deeply powerful. Despite the name, it's not related to wheat and is actually gluten-free. What makes buckwheat special is that it contains the amino acid lysine, which is essential for collagen cross-linking. That's the process that gives collagen its strength and resilience. Most grains lack lysine, so adding buckwheat can help fill that gap. It also provides rutin, a plant compound that strengthens blood vessels and improves circulation, which can directly reduce swelling in the legs. A 2018 study in the Journal of Agricultural and Food Chemistry found that rutin from buckwheat helped reduce capillary fragility and inflammation, particularly beneficial for aging joints and sensitive tissues.
Interesting. I wouldn't have guessed a grain could play such a unique role in supporting collagen. Is it something people can easily add to their breakfast routine?
Absolutely. In Japan, we use it in soba, thin noodles made from buckwheat. But for breakfast, buckwheat groats can be cooked like oatmeal. They're slightly nutty, very filling, and pair beautifully with berries, seeds, or even a bit of miso. They're gentle on digestion and give a steady, calming energy, perfect for seniors starting their day. And because they're naturally anti-inflammatory, they support not only joint health but also cardiovascular resilience.
That sounds delicious and empowering. It's amazing how these foods don't just heal the body, but also bring back joy in eating. These are meals that feel like comfort and care, not restriction or fear. I'm starting to see a common theme here, healing through balance, not extremes. And that brings us to your final recommendation, the last of the 8. The one I have been waiting for the whole episode since you promised this would be the best one. Tell me, what food do you believe deserves the closing spot on this list?
It's one I always end my list with because it surprises people with how powerful it is. Number 8 is kiwi fruit. Yes, that small, fuzzy fruit sitting quietly in the produce section. But don't let its size or humble appearance fool you. Kiwis are a powerhouse, a true hidden gem when it comes to collagen and joint health. They're incredibly rich in vitamin C, which is the key nutrient your body uses to synthesize collagen. Without enough vitamin C, the whole collagen building process slows down. But kiwis don't stop there. They contain actinidin, a rare enzyme that improves the digestion of protein making sure your body fully absorbs all the amino acids from the other foods you're eating.
So it's not just what it brings, it's how it helps you get more from the rest of your diet.
Exactly. Kiwis are the ultimate enhancer. They help unlock the benefits of your entire breakfast, especially if it includes protein-rich foods like oats, yogurt, or seeds. They're also rich in vitamin E and polyphenols, which fight free radical damage and help protect existing collagen from breaking down. In fact, a study published in the British Journal of Nutrition found that just 2 kiwis a day led to noticeable improvements in skin hydration, elasticity, and inflammation, markers in older adults over a 12-week period. And there's a bonus many people don't realize. Kiwis are excellent for digestion. They help regulate bowel movements gently, which is especially helpful for seniors managing slower metabolism or constipation.
That's the perfect way to end. Something simple, accessible, and actually fun to eat. This whole list has felt like that. Practical, powerful, and full of joy. You've taken something that can feel overwhelming, swelling, joint pain, aging, and made it hopeful again.
And that's the heart of it. Collagen doesn't only come from powders or pills. It comes from the small, thoughtful choices you make at breakfast. From food that doesn't just fill your belly, but tells your body, I care about you. That message, repeated every morning, is what builds resilience. It's not just nutrition, it's self-respect.
You've given us so much to think about today, and honestly, so much to be excited about. Before we close, I'd love to ask you what I always ask at the end of these interviews. If you could leave our listeners with just one line, one takeaway to remember, what would it be?
Feed your body like you plan to walk for decades, because every bite is a step towards strength.
Wise words by a wise man. For everyone listening today, you can support us by subscribing